they used the kantha stitch, but then created a very beautiful pattern. I was actually thinking it would make a lovely skirt or a dress, you know, with that kind of fabric too.
It would. Mm-hmm. It's hard to believe that they do all of this by hand.
Silk.
By looking at it, that's all that's done.
Cashmere. Embroideries. It is the world of Ibhana, the company Meena Tharmaratnam founded 3 years ago.
Three. Okay, I'll take 4. I was back home in India, and I was looking at all these wonderful textiles we have, and I said, you know, what a shame that we don't really get to see all this, you know, the really high quality of textiles that India has to offer.
Back in Washington, Meena sold 50 Indian scarves at once and received an on-the-spot order for 100 more.
And that day I came back home, I printed out my business card, and within a month I incorporated.
Ibhana is one of the hundreds of names of Ganesha, the Hindu divinity with an elephant head. No Hindu prayer would ever start without invoking Ganesha.
Ganesha is the remover of all obstacles, and I figured that it wouldn't be a bad idea to have the Lord on your side. I'm not very religious, I have to confess, but he's just a really fun God.
3 years after setting up shop, Meena has a sizable inventory, and she attracts appreciative customers in her showroom at home, in bazaars during the holiday season. She organizes fashion shows. At the World Bank, she participates in fashion shows promoting social diversity. She also sells at fundraisers in country clubs.
Well, you see, look at look at the workmanship of it.
Meena is among a select group of vendors supplying the shop of the prestigious Textile Museum in Washington, a good way of branding her fabrics as top grade. Sandy Danielson, manager.
Well, with Meena, she has a great eye for quality and for design, and that is one of the reasons that I have been buying from her. And it's been proven that we sell her merchandise very well.
I, started off with maybe $1,500, and then slowly kept adding. And by now, it's about the tune of about, 100,000, which I've been able to generate from my own personal funds. I sort of break even, which is pretty good for a 3-year-old business, yeah. I think only in America could I have achieved so much so quickly. Things happen, things move, which would just, be the end in any other country.
Things started moving for Meena when she met her business mentors. She enrolled in a 13-week intensive course.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to National Women's Business Center. My name is Penny Pompey, and I'm the president and CEO of the organization.
SCORE, the Service Corps of Retired Executives, all volunteers, is sponsored by the U.S. Small Business Administration. Her mentor, Mel Peller, is former vice president of the largest textile company in the U.S.
Yes, we are business people. We have learned what we do, and thank God we are in a position to give back because we can afford it and just volunteer, and we're all retired.
I met Mel Peller. I listened to his long stories at each visit to SCORE and came back with his gemstones.
With warmth and networking skills, Meena can rely on friendships she formed through 8 years of volunteer work in Washington. Many friends are now clients. Many lead her to customers or help out at sales events. Friends and mentors are an asset, but crucial decisions are her own. She took advertising into her own hands. When a 9-week ad in a local newspaper failed to
I have now almost a mailing list of about 2,000 members, and I communicate with them through my newsletter. Every time I do a show, I always have a sign-up list.
Volunteering to share her journey with would-be entrepreneurs is a good way to help others while getting visibility for her company.
So I'm going to share my story, because they said people love stories, about my little foray into business.
At the Potomac Country Club in an upscale suburb of Washington, Meena positions her company.
Promoting cross-cultural understanding through textiles and weaving, creating and sourcing beautiful products for our clients. So that's Ibhana. Well, I wanted to start today's little talk on the history of the paisley shawl.
She evokes the North Indian origins of the Pashmina shawl and its popularity among European upper classes 2 centuries ago. History glamorizes her shawls and justifies the hundreds, even thousands of dollars they could fetch. Meena has clearly chosen to set herself apart from the pack of retailers.
I'd also been reading quite a bit about, this new term called social entrepreneurship, and how, you can make a very viable business plan, and yet it has to be, it can be doing some really good work.
Meena assisted victims of the tsunami with donations from her sales.
The first scarf, the first 100 was donated to tsunami, and we raised money to build 2 homes in a village in Sri Lanka.
And this scarf helped finance foreign women studying development in America.
$10 from the sale of every scarf goes to their scholarship fund.
One of her missions, helping a community of weavers of Hyderabad to open up to foreign markets so that their weaving traditions may survive.
We're teaching them and sharing with them some of our knowledge and experience of the market.
But will social entrepreneurship serve the economic interest of Ibhana? Meena thinks it will, in the long term.
Current market trends show today's consumer has become very savvy. They're demanding the best product, the best price, and they're demanding of corporations to show how socially conscious they are.
Philanthropy aside, she expects to use her scarves to boost revenues by developing non-retail sales outlets.
What I'm hoping to do with the signature scarves and other products is establish a separate division for Ibhana, which will provide products to organizations for their fundraising in the Washington, D.C. area.
But Penny Pompey, CEO of the National Women's Business Center, has words of caution.
She cannot grow to where she wants to grow until she's able to hire someone and delegate some of that responsibility.
What Ibhana needs now for the next phase of its business growth is a huge sum of money so that I can hire some very good people to take over all the routine tasks that I have to do on a day-to-day basis, so that I can start working on my business and not in my business.
You sit down with hopefully with a really good accountant that will take a look at your sales and your sales projections and what you think is going to happen in the next 12 months. And you really have to leap off that cliff one more time. You did it once to become self-employed in the first place. Then you have to make a second leap to become a CEO